and there are current challenges. I have always tried to be transparent about my past, so you're entitled to know what my biases are here. Early in my first term as president, we identified the 10 most important countries for the United States in the 21st century, excluding India and China, which were obvious, and Ukraine was one of them. And my dream was that Ukraine would serve as a bridge between Russia and Europe in a more harmonized world. You also should know that our foundation has worked in Ukraine for many years, thanks to AIDS Life in Europe and the Victor and Elena Pinchuk Foundation on HIV/AIDS and trying to help improve the health circumstances. So I give that to you. You're inclined, therefore, to discount or inflate, as you choose, anything I'd say, but I have a very strong bias that a strong, independent, peaceful, secure Ukraine being a bridge between Russia and Europe is very important. I feel the same way about Turkey being a bridge between a positive Middle East and Europe in a world that works together instead of being torn apart. So I was delighted when then Mr. Poroshenko became the president of Ukraine, and I think he has tried heroically with great skill to deal with the challenges of his country. So I'm going to ask him 2 questions and give him all the time. The first question is, tell people here what you want every person to know about where you are now, what your major challenges are, and what kind of support you need.
First of all, thank you very much, Mr. President, for this unique opportunity to address for more than 1,000 people from the United States and all over the world about the very important for the global security and for the global peace and for the global democracy situation in Ukraine. I very appreciate, and I have an opportunity to participate previously in the Clinton Global Initiative in different places, starting from Hong Kong and different other places. But I think now after the annexation of the Crimea, after the aggression in east of Ukraine, we live in a completely different world. And I want to, if you're asking very short about the things what we need from you, from the world, the answer is very simple and consists of only 2 things. Point number 1, we need transatlantic unity. We need a unity between US, Canada, European Union, Australia, Japan, the whole world. And point number 2, we need a solidarity with Ukraine. With Ukrainian people who are fighting for peace, democracy, not only for the sovereignty, not only for the territorial integrity, not only for the independence of our country. We're fighting for the freedom and democracy. We're fighting for the opportunity for the Ukrainian people, which was strongly demonstrated in our revolution of dignity in the November year 2013, when people want that Ukraine be a European country. We want to have open door for the European Union, for the Ukrainian people, which already passed the most important exam and test for peace and democracy. And we want that the fate of Ukrainian people solved by Ukrainian people, not in Moscow. We hate the idea to ask the permission from President Putin to be the European nation, because we are the European nation. And again, we pay for that a huge price. 6.5 civilian, almost 2.5 Ukrainian heroes, Ukrainian soldiers give their lives to have this opportunity. 1.5 million internally displaced persons. Just want to compare these figures with the migration crisis in the whole European Union. The only one country, Ukraine, because of the aggression of Russia on the east of my country, because of the annexation of the Crimea, has a crisis with the 1.5 million internally displaced persons. And we do our best to defend our country and to make the reform. And I said that the war in my country is not the reason to stop the reform. And for a very short period of the time, less than a year, when I declare the early parliamentary election and we elect the new parliament, we launch a very important reform in my country which we never had before. The reform of the decentralization, bringing the power to the people, the decisive reform for fighting against corruption. We launched the new, very open and very transparent Anti-Corruption Bureau. And a few days ago, I introduced the first detective from the Anti-Corruption Bureau, which was had this opportunity after very tight competition, open and transparent. And now we move from the General Prosecutor Office to the Anti-Corruption Bureau, all the corruption cases. And we create the new agency preventing the corruption in our government. I launched the constitutional changes for the court reform, which helped me to build up the new independent court system, which can help me to defend the human rights and create the unique investment climate in Ukraine. We launched reform in the healthcare and education. No matter, we're just implementing all the things which we agreed with our association agreement with the European Union, which I'm proud to sign exactly 1 year ago in July in Brussels, and which was ratified on the September 16, synchronized by the European Parliament and Parliament of Ukraine. So, again, what we need? We need the top of Ukraine would be on the top priority of the world democracy, on the United States. And the question of Syria, question of the ISIS, question of the crisis in the Middle East, question of the North Korea, and other problems do not remove Ukraine from your top attention. Because these 45 million people want to be and would be the European nation with the highest democracy and freedom standard. Thank you.